This Albion Online guide is all about how to avoid being stream sniped, and this is towards all the creators that took the lurk it bait, but anyone who is thinking about streaming Albion Online or anyone that is very big and popular and famous who is worried about being stream sniped in this game. We're going to talk all about all the methods that people will use to find you, beat you up in the game, or grief you. And so if you are a streamer or thinking about being a streamer, this video is very important for protecting your character and not getting your time wasted. And anyone watching, do not let me catch you reverse engineering this video to stream snipe people, okay? That would not be a fun thing or a nice thing to do. So number one is you need to cover up your minimap. That's this guy right here in the bottom right corner. You need to cover up the entire freaking thing. Yes, you need to cover up the zone name in the bottom right. You need to cover up the time, because using the in-game server time, they can find you based on your play habits and expect you in certain areas. So if you farm a certain zone every day at 11 a.m. UTC, well, they might be there waiting for you, even if you aren't streaming. But also, you want to cover up the player count so that people might or might not know what server you're playing on. That's another way to tell. There's a whole lot of information that this gives. Now, there are drop hackers and people that will lag you out of the game. So covering your ping is also important so that if they do test the waters with the drop hack, that they don't see your ping suddenly flare up because they know they got you then. So again, the very first thing, cover up this minimap with an image or your webcam, whatever you got, just cover it up. Number two, now this is an anti-grief measure. You see the chat down here in the bottom left corner. If you are not on a private island and you're standing in the middle of town and you're streaming, you want to turn off speech bubbles, and you also want to hide the chat. My favorite way for hiding the chat, besides putting an image over it, which kind of junks up your stream, is to just push enter, switch to your combat log, and there you go. Now, anything anyone says, they can't be seen, but here's how to turn off speech bubbles. You're going to click the cogwheel in the top right corner, go to game settings here, and then you're going to go to interface and just turn off speech bubbles. Now, why would you want to turn off speech bubbles as a streamer? It's simple. Someone will run up on your screen, and they can say whatever they want, and it will show up on your stream. That means your home address, your family's name, where you went to school, your IP address, whatever they want to grief you with, okay? Or they could say something very nasty and vile on a throwaway free, because this game's free to play. They can just make an account, name it something absolutely abhorrent, and then say really nasty, dirty things on your stream, which could get you in trouble. So, again, doing these two things will prevent that type of grief. Number three, there are more settings to change. So right up here under game settings, under general, if you scroll all the way down, you have safe streamer mode. So if you accidentally get kicked out of the game, well, your login is using an email address of some sort, so you want to make sure that you hide login credentials. Otherwise, if you don't want your email that you use to log into the game leaked, this will prevent that. Also, locations. So I don't run locations hidden because I don't really care if I get stream sniped. But locations hidden. So when you open a mini map, and I will show you, you'll see there's a name of where you're at the top of the screen. And whenever you open a map here, you'll see names as well. And also, when you move, like, to a different zone, so I'm going to go to Lazy Grass, and you'll notice that here at the bottom it says Lazy Grass Plain, right? Plain as day. So when you turn that setting on, it's going to censor the zones, and it helps a little bit. It helps a tiny bit, so if you are streaming, you definitely need to turn locations on, and just keep it on. That way people can't see where you're at. But a really good or persistent stream sniper will be able to get around this, and we're going to talk about more ways that they will grief you and more ways that they can find you regardless of which zone you're in. I'm also going to give you more tips of if you need to play the game, because I know you guys on Lurk It, y'all have to play for 2 hours, 2 days a week for 4 weeks. Yikers, right? So I'm going to help you out with that so that you don't get such a torturous experience. So number four is that you need, in your streamer software, bind the in key, which is the button that opens and closes your map. You need to bind this to pop an image up over the screen so that people cannot see what the map looks like. Even if people don't have the name of the zone you are in, just the image of the map alone is more than enough to see where you're at. So let's say you're deep in the black zone. I'm just going to pick a random black zone place. Here we go. And so, if I saw this map, I can see the hideout locations, the little castle area here, the territory. I can see, you know, that there is a static dungeon in the corner. I can see the shapes of the rivers on the map. So I know that this is a forest region. I also know it's a black zone due to the hideouts and where the hideouts are at. So all I have to do as a stream sniper is open my map and just click every forest region, right? I just click every forest region until I find that same layout. And stream snipers who've been playing a long time, they're going to know what map you're on just by looking at the layout. They don't even need the name. But if you're playing on that same map for long enough, even though the name may be censored, they'll be like, okay, oh, this one looks like the one that popped up on the stream. Oh boy. And from here, that's all the info they need to track you down and get you. Let's talk about the blue zone real quick. If you are forced to stream the game and you absolutely don't want to deal with any PvP sniping, then you can play in a blue zone, alright? So right now, I have entered a tier 4 blue zone. You can see here I have it's smooth floor cleft. It's got the blue icon. It's got 51 players in the zone. Now here's how a stream sniper will still try to snipe you. They can't beat you up as long as you aren't faction flagged. However, what they can do is they can steal your mobs. So here I am in a full 8.4 maximum spec, fully awakened weapon set. Now, as of June 30th, the power will be limited, so I won't be able to kill these mobs as quickly, but all I have to do as, say, the stream sniper is, let's say you're trying to kill this mob. The way mob tagging works is the first person to deal 35% of the mob's HP gets the tag. So if I'm stream sniping someone, allegedly, like this guy, see, he's pulling the mobs, well, I just killed this one, so I think I would get to skin it, maybe. Let's see, nope, okay, he actually dealt 35% before I got to. But if someone's following you around in a blue zone, you can't fight them, they can't fight you. But as soon as you start fighting a mob, well, then all they have to do is just jump off their mount and nuke the hell out of the mob before you can even do anything, and you won't get any kill credit. But at the same time, if you are running around a blue zone gathering, and as a new player, you're going to have low-level gathering tools, so you would take forever to gather this, whereas an experienced or seasoned player will instantly vacuum up the resources, and you will get nothing. And whenever I stream rarely on YouTube, that's what people do to me. If I go run around a blue zone unfaction flagged, everyone's like, you should faction flag up, you should faction flag up, and then people will attack me, of course. And that's part of the game. I think it's funny, you know. But whenever I'm trying to gather, if I'm streaming, well, then they're just going to follow me around and gather every single little node that I gather. And because I'm a pretty popular YouTuber, I will have like 10 people hovering around me at all times, just vacuuming up all the resources on my screen before I get a chance to touch any of it. So that is how they will technically grief you in a blue zone. But there are and aren't ways to hide that you're in a blue zone. So step number 1, and I'm going to go ahead and make this a header real quick. So number 6 is if you've taken all the other precautions of hiding your mini-map and having something on the screen pop up whenever you push your map button, you need to hide the entire screen and disable sound, because if you don't disable sound, people can hear where you're at, how long you've been riding, the music of the town. Like, I'm in Bridgewatch, so right now the Bridgewatch theme song is playing. Whereas, if I hide my entire screen like this, and then I hide the sound like this, you can still hear my voice, though. Well, now I'm free to transition into a different zone, and because every town and every zone in the game has 3 to 4 connections, I can zone out to a blue zone, and then when I'm ready to actually stream the game and show you where I'm at, once I've arrived at my destination, assuming everything else is fully hidden, it makes it really hard for the stream sniper to find out where you're at. So let me show you a screen cap. Let me get to an area here. I know that I'm going to actually unblock my screen here and unblock the sound because I'm making a YouTube video. But whenever you're ready to reveal your screen, well, without any mini-map or main map, it's very hard for someone to find you, but there are still hints and clues as to where you could be at. And that's a lot harder to hide, but I'm going to talk about context clues and how someone might be able to find out which zone you're in. So I'm going to call this context clues that give away your position. So context clue number 1, the mobs. You'll notice that when I click on this mob, it is a tier 2 Impala, The tier is right here in the bottom right of the mob's portrait. So this means that, because it's a skinnable mob, this means that I am in at least a tier 4 or a tier 3 zone. Alright, these mobs do not appear in tier 5 and up zones, except for the black zone, which is kind of weird. But anyway, another context clue is whenever you kill a mob, you will see a fame modifier. So I'm just going to kill this real quick. You'll see this little blue circle that popped up out of the mob. That signifies that I am in a blue zone because it gives me blue zone fame. You'll see it here, blue zone fame, right? If I'm in a yellow zone, that will be a yellow icon, and red or black, depending on what zone I'm in. So, same thing when you pick up silver, boom, there's blue and blue. So now, the viewers will know that I am in a blue zone somewhere. Alright, and the second context clues that can help someone find you is ridges, mountains like this. You see how this is like a little ridge, a choke point? So that's number one. You'll look on the map, and you'll notice that ridges are very prevalent on the map, so are little mountainous areas. Outposts are a dead giveaway. If I am trying to hide my map and I ride near this faction outpost, experienced players will immediately know that I am in what's called the Royal Zone. These outposts, these faction outposts, do not exist in the red or black zone. I mean, they exist in the red zone, I'm sorry. They do not exist in the black zones, okay? So, that's a context clue that I am somewhere within the Royals, and depending on how long you blacken your screen, they can determine, well, each zone, depending on your mount, is about 1 to 2 minutes ride. So, if someone blackens their screen from Bridge Watch, they hear the music stop, they know that, oh, 1 to 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes, 1 to 2 minutes. So, if your screen was black for 5 to 6 minutes, you're probably here. All right, maybe, right? They're going to have to, like, see what mountain ridges you're near. But another thing, too, that's a dead giveaway that can help people track is roads. If you ride near roads, and I'm not saying that you have to blacken your screen every time you kill a mob or ride near a road, but being on or near a road, especially the direction that you are traveling. So right now, I'm traveling north and south on a road. All they have to do is open the map and find roads that have north and south roads. So if we go here, there's not really any hard north and south roads, so we can immediately eliminate Sandgust Cleft here, alright, as one of the zones that I would technically be in, right? Because it's got the faction outpost, it's got some ridges and walls, but no north-south roads, okay? Whereas this one, this area, has a north-south road. It has a north-south road kind of here. So, this one could be a contender. But what they're going to do is they're going to look for these little water puddles, too. You see this water puddle? You see how it's here on the map? So, oh, he passed a water puddle on the left. He passed a water puddle on the right. He's going on a north-south road. Boom, they're going to open their map. Okay, check, check, check. Nope, that's a tier 3 zone. We know it's a tier 4 zone. Let's see. What about here? No north-south roads. Okay, so where else? Well, it's in a desert area, a steppe zone, so it's not going to be any of these, right? And so, well, what about, well, this is a tier 5 blue zone. There's a north-south road, there's a puddle, and there's a puddle. So they might think you're here, right? Because there's a puddle and there's a puddle, okay? So they're going to be looking at these small context clues to try to find out where you're at, all right? And so riding near ridges, riding on roads, riding around water sources, or big water sources are another absolute dead giveaway. These tiny little puddles, someone has to be very diligent at screen watching on another monitor to track you down. And I'm an expert at this. I can track people down in this game like crazy, right? And so can stream snipers if they really want to get you. And I'm going to tell you right now, if you're a big, popular, famous person and they get a kill trophy, that's worth millions of silver to other players. Now, you can see I'm near a big water source, and I'm riding west to east, and there's a water source to the north. So they're going to look and be like, okay, if you happen to ride downwards, they'll see like a ridge here. So they're going to be like, okay, well, where's there a ridge where there's a water source that's big, like a lake or something? This could be the edge of a map, could not be. The stream sniper has to figure that out. But if you open other zones, well, with a ridge to your south, but a water source to the north, nope, that's a beach. This is the edge of a map. This could be a contender right here a little bit, but probably not. Probably not, right? Let's look at this map. So definitely no. All right, looking at this map. No, not, well, maybe right here. This could be a contender right here. Kind of, sort of, maybe. Right? So again, stream snipers can very, very quickly determine where you are and where you aren't just based on what is on the screen. So just be aware of that. let's talk about more ways that they will stream snipe you and what they will be doing to grief you. So, we talked about the blue zone where they're going to just, if you're not faction flagged, they will just tag the mobs you're trying to attack so that they get the kill credit and you don't, delaying your progress. And they will steal the resources you're trying to gather. There's no way to stop this other than to just be stronger than them and have better gathering tools. There's really nothing you can do about this. You can't PvP them, you can't cast a spell, literally nothing you can do. Now in a yellow zone, if you are not faction flagged, they will flag up in PvP and they will down you, and this will give you a 5% durability loss and a 90-second downtime. As of June 30th, there is an item power soft cap, which means having the best gear in the game doesn't give them much of an advantage over you. So if you have some friends with you that will defend you, or just all you need is one healer, just having one healer in a yellow zone, one stream sniper will not be able to kill you. You are unkillable if you just have one friend. They can pop some heals on you. That's all it takes to stop the griefing there, okay? But if they do manage to down you in a PvP fight, you don't lose your gear or stuff, but you do lose 5% of your durability based on your item power, and you will be kneeling on the ground for 90 seconds unable to play, and after that 90 seconds, you will stand back up with a shield where you can mount up and escape, alright? Now, what I recommend to combat this in the yellow zones is that you should faction flag up, and there's a lot of benefits why. Everyone doing anything in a safe zone should faction flag up, and here's why. So when you faction flag, I'm going to show you right now. I'm here at the faction vendor, and you can't do this until you've gotten like a bit of fame. So if you're brand new to the game, you can't do this yet. But after you play for a couple hours, you'll have enough fame, the game will let you do it. You're going to flag up, you'll get a little icon next to your name. In this case, I have an orange icon because I'm in Bridge Watch. Okay, every town has their own little color. And whenever whenever someone is PvP flagged in a yellow zone, they cannot attack a faction flagged player unless you're in a PvP zone like these little mob camps. Or if there's like a treasure chest everyone fights over. That's the only time that non-faction flagged players can attack you. So, right now, there are 6 PvP flagged players in the zone. They can't attack me because I'm faction flagged. However, a stream sniper will simply go to a rival town. So, in this case, I'm faction flagged as Bridgewatch. They will go to Martlock or Limhurst and faction flag there. And then they will have to ride all the way out to where you're at and fight you. And the thing with being faction flagged, if someone downs you from a rival faction, you still lose durability. Yes, that's true. You still lose the durability. However, you don't spend 90 seconds on the ground kneeling. You just warp to the closest faction outpost and you continue playing. All right? But also another cool thing is that every other person also faction flag. Like this guy, this Kang Raw guy, you'll notice he's got an orange icon next to his name. We are now allies. We don't share XP or loot or anything, but anyone attacking me, this guy can also attack them. And also, in a PvP-like situation like these mob camps, or like a chest everyone's fighting over, everyone that is faction flagged with the same faction are on the same team and cannot fight each other in those zones. So if you want to do mob camps, then you have a bunch of allies as long as you're within your faction's territory. So, again, all you have to do while faction flagged, if you're getting stream sniped, go right around some other people that are also in the same faction, and whenever someone dismounts to beat you up, everyone will help kill the stream sniper. It's not that hard. Also, if you're new, being faction flagged gives you a percent bonus to fame, loot, and silver. If you're 3 zones away, you get a 15% boost. That's the highest the boost goes. Also, because new streamers will be watching this, to unfaction flag, all you have to do is click the little icon right to the right of your nameplate, and then you'll channel yourself removing the faction flag. It is not permanent. You're not choosing like Horde or Alliance in World of Warcraft or anything like that. Alright, so red zones. Red zones are full loot PvP zones. I'll show you on the map what they look like real quick. So here we have the blue zones, the yellow zones, and then nearby are the red zones. Red zones are full loot PvP zones. They're, again, full loot. There is no item power cap, so people using really good gear will have a huge advantage over you. And if you're new, you won't be able to really fight back or defend yourself. And you're not going to run into as many faction-flagged players in those zones. And so, yeah, what happens is, in the bottom right of your map, you'll see how many PvP flagged players there are in the zone, and if that number goes up, just leave the red zone and go somewhere else. That way you don't risk losing your gear. If you are faction flagged in the red zone, which is risky but still doable, and an enemy faction player, shows up on the map, they will not contribute towards the PvP flagged count. And they will still have a red name on your screen, so you'll know if you're in danger. But they can freely kill you, and other players cannot kill them unless they PvP flag up. Also, if you are faction flagged, other PvP flagged players can still attack you in a red zone. And again, it's full loot. You lose your inventory. You lose all your stuff. Nothing in the game makes you lose silver when doing PvP. So a silver pile does drop when players are down, but it's not taken from their inventory. It is just generated by the game. So don't think that stream snipers can steal your silver. They literally can't. So black zones, I'm not going to use a header for this because I'm lazy, but black zones, it's also full loot PvP zones, except everyone is automatically flagged up. So everyone is just hostile towards everyone else all of the time. And while it's harder to track you down in a black zone, it's still doable, and people will still find a way. What you can do to kind of dissuade stream snipers, let me give you an example. So if you ride out far enough, there are places called smugglers' dens, and I'm going to show you where I live. And yeah, people come out here to try to beat me up, and that's whatever. I think it's funny. But, let's see. River Copes Fount. This is where I live. It's pretty deep in the black zone, okay? So you can see, like, this is a portal city. That's 1, 2, like, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's at least a 20 to 30-minute ride to get to where I live. Now, of course, from Limhurst, it's actually just a 1, 2, through the cave, 3, 4 or 5 zones away. In a direct line, so that would be 5 to 10 minute ride, okay? 10 minutes to go stream snipe someone is expected, but these are called smugglers' dens. You can set your home here, and you can teleport to and from them while naked, so if you're having trouble being stream sniped in a red zone, you can come here for a while, go kill mobs or farm whatever for 10 minutes, and by the time the stream snipers show up, you can immediately zone into these. These are safe zones. And you can just leave them, and then the stream sniper will have wasted 10 minutes trying to track you down. So let's talk about more ways to dissuade snipers. As a stream sniper myself, the biggest way to dissuade snipers is to simply outnumber them, alright? So if you're playing in a yellow zone and you're faction flagged, well, I can just come beat you up. But if you have a bunch of friends, if you have a healer, if you have a tank, if you have crowd control and dismount sets as friends, if you just have an army with you, well, as a solo stream sniper with no friends, I cannot snipe you. There is absolutely nothing, almost nothing that I could do to get you. Sorta, kinda. Real quick, I'm gonna share with you just a quick little snipey snipe. So, these are employees of the game, shows it in Bolgal, and they do a little faction show. And right now, you can see, they are faction flagged up. They have all of these allies. They have an army with them, a complete and full army of players. Right, and I'm actually next to shows in here. I'm invisible. I know it's blurry, it's low quality, whatever. Deal with it. And I'm not gonna play the video because I don't want to copyright, do copyright stuff. But here we go. I just appear out of invisibility and I stab Shozen. Boom! Look at his health go down, and then I attack him again, and he's down. Right. So yes, even though you have an army around you, you can still technically get sniped. All right, you're not fully safe. However, after June 30th. I would not deal nearly as much damage to him, but I would still one-shot him because his gear would also have been scaled down along with my gear, so it doesn't really matter. Also, I escaped. I managed to run away before his army even realized it. So again, it's all for fun, not for harm. It's not for harassment reasons or anything. He was in a faction fight, and so I faction flagged up, and I did my part for my faction, right? Even though I just went, straight into the heart of the enemies, the middle of their army and took out their commander, I suppose. Now, one thing that people think is safe is like solo dungeons, okay? So a solo dungeon, you would pop like a dungeon map. These are tier 3 ones. You would never want to technically ever use these. They're garbage. But a lot of streamers that don't know better, they will take these dungeon maps, they will pop them, which will summon a dungeon in the world. There's also random ones that spawn anyway. And when you enter a solo dungeon, they close after a certain amount of time. I think for safe zones, it's 15 to 30 seconds. For red zones, it's 90 seconds. And the game will tell you, the dungeon has safely closed behind you. Well, there's ways for stream snipers to enter your dungeon, but not render into the dungeon, and then after it's closed, they can log into the game. I'm not going to give you details, all right? I'm not going to tell you how it works. But essentially, even though that you've entered a dungeon, the way the stream snipe works is if you are not sitting at the entrance of that dungeon paying attention to who enters and leaves, like say you start clearing the dungeon before it closes, someone could technically come in behind you and wait for that notification, the dungeon is closed, and you'll think that you're safe, but as soon as you get that notification and you start pushing deeper into the dungeon, well, then this happens. You can see here I come, I zoom up, attack the guy, he's completely shocked. I'm not going to share the audio, but he is flabbergasted that the dungeon closed behind him. He doesn't know what's going on. And yeah, he died, lost his loot. I gave it back. I gave him extra, just for being an example. He calmed down. It's all good. Everything's Gucci, okay? There's no hate, no foul play, all right? And yeah, so you're not safe in solo dungeons or group dungeons. If you're in a group dungeon with a group of players, it's way harder for a stream sniper to get you in there because they have to fight your whole team, but it is what it is. Some people may think if they're in a full loot zone and they're mounted, that there's no way the stream sniper can get them, even if they have like a really thick mount or a powerful mount or they're fast, or the stream sniper is not well equipped enough to dismount them. But there are cheaters in this game. I know, like, no one else is going to tell you this because they're all sponsored. They're all in a content creator Discord. I'm like the black sheep of the community. I tell you the raw truth. And I don't personally cheat, but I did manage to follow a guy on a stream who accidentally Alt F4'd, so it's kinda... this is what it would look like on your screen, okay? So here we go. This guy's running around. He sees me. He's like, oh, Swoobid. He starts talking crap about me on his stream. And what happens is he accidentally, while he's inspecting me, he hits Alt F4, and his game gets closed down. So a crash hacker or a lag hacker will essentially make this happen to you. I'm not a cheater. I'm not a hacker, but... again, here his game is closed, and, me watching a stream, I'm like, oh, now's my chance, so I flag up, right? And by the time he gets the game back open and launches the game, he's already being attacked and killed, because when your game crashes or when you log out or force close the game, in this case, your character is still in the game world. You cannot, it's not like Minecraft where you can just log out while you're PvPing and you're safe. It doesn't work that way. And of course, this guy not being able to fight back and his mount's gone, he's dead, so... it sucks for him, but just note that I didn't cheat. He closed his game, and I have video proof of it. That again, I literally have the video. But it can and will happen as a streamer. It happens to me all the time. People will lag my game out. They'll DDoS me. They have some way to crash your game or lag you out. I've made videos on it in the past and showed off what it looks like. And sometimes the game doesn't close. You're just stuck lagging in place while they do whatever it is they want to do to you. So one of the better ways to dissuade snipers is to just go to Brazilian, especially if you are like one of the big streamers that are going to be playing, like Quinn or Soda Poppin'. If he even is, I don't think he is. I think he never signed a contract, so he's probably out. But here in Brazilian, it's actually pretty hard for a brand new account or player to get to this town without doing a little bit of grinding. But once they unlock it, they'll be able to play here. And the thing with Brazilian is that there's a couple of ways to play it, so that it's very hard for people to follow you. And so I'm going to talk about the roads of Avalon next. So when you're in Brasilia, and you can access the roads from, blue zones, yellow zones, red and black zones as well. But it's easier for people to follow you if you do that without covering your screen. However, doing it from Brazilian, there is what's called an unstable road. And this will just toss you into the deep end, into the middle of the roads, where it's basically impossible for someone to follow you, and I'll explain. So here we are at the unstable portal, and when you click on it, you're going to just enter a road completely randomly, right? It's going to be some weird stupid name on the bottom, it doesn't matter. And here we are, we're in a road. Now, where am I in a road, and how would a stream sniper... oh, there's another player here. Clown of... that's so weird. Alright, well that guy managed to get in just when I did. That's spooky. Never seen that, ever. Ever. He could have turned around and just killed me. I'm naked anyway, doesn't matter. But here, the only way a stream sniper can find out where you're at, besides using a third-party program to scan a Discord server that has the roads mapped out, and almost no stream sniper has access to this. That's cartel stuff, that's guild stuff. Stream snipers aren't that invested or in guilds anyway. They have better stuff to be doing, right? But anyway, So, if you mouse over these portals, a stream sniper can see the name and then go to that zone which is connected to your road. So, let's see. This is Sky Lake Bridge. Okay, that's a zone. This is a continuation of the road because it's some jumbled, stupid name. So, they cannot find you with that. Flammog Fork. So, all a stream sniper has to do, once they see the name, they can just open their map and under the search, they'll type Flammog Fork, and they're going to be like, okay, well, where is that at? Well, Flammog Fork is in the black zone, right? It's over here. And the closest zone, look how close it is to Merlin's Rest. So if they have a home at Merlin's Rest, that's 1, 2, 3 zones away, and then they would enter the Avalonian portal on this map, and then they could eventually get to you, right? Or over here at Sky Lake Bridge, let's see. Sky Lake Bridge. And most stream snipers, they're not going to bother. And as long as you never mouse over these portals, they will have no idea what's connecting, okay? So here's Sky Lake Bridge, which is really deep in the black zone. The closest would be from the Limhurst portal. You go like 1, 2, 3, 4, a whole lot of zones away. So for a stream sniper to get me here in this road would take them an insane amount of time. There's a big battle going on over here. I wonder if I can be naked and loot some stuff. Yeah, that clown of hell guy that rode by us, he has killed 4 people so far. Yikers, man, what a beast. Now, the second way, if you don't want to play roads, is playing the mists. And from Brazilian, it's the quickest way to access the mists. Yes, you can run around the open worlds in yellow zone. You should never do a yellow zone mist. They're just not worth it. But the red zone and black zone mists will be in full. They will transport you to a full loot mist. However, from Brazilian, you can pretty much instantly go in them. And I have been testing sniping. Yes, I'm just a connoisseur. I haven't actually griefed anyone with this. Just note, it's all for science and not for, bad mannering anyone. But when you click on this mist portal, you have the solo neutral, solo non-lethal, solo lethal, and duo lethal. So if you have a teammate, you and him can go into the mists together for a duo mist, which you'll find other teams of 2 to fight and, farm against or whatever. So here is my statistics. What I have done is I've been friendly about it. Every person that I've tracked, doing this, I just run at them naked and I just throw money at them, and they're very appreciative of it, okay? So I'm not actually doing anyone harm. I'm not ganking them and taking their stuff. But as soon as a streamer enters a duo mist, I have a 1 in 4 chance of entering the same mist. And if they've been in that mist for 1 minute, it's still a 1 in 4 chance, or a 25%. Whereas if they do a solo lethal mist, it's a 1 in 7 chance. All right. So and here's the thing, right? I'm going to show you right now. Let's say I'm trying to find I'm trying to stream snipe someone that just entered a duo mist. Okay. So the way that I would do this, and this is a lot of mist players, they don't cover their map because they think they're completely safe, and they're not. Well, looking at the layout of the mist, well, there's a lake over here, there's a camp here, and a big camp here. Okay. So as soon as I enter the mists, I look at my map. Does my map match their map? If so, yes. Yes, it does. I am now in the same mist as them, and now I could do whatever I want as a stream sniper. However, if I get the wrong map, check out what happens, all right? So, as a stream sniper, I cannot try again for 4.5 minutes or 5 minutes, okay? It's a 5-minute cooldown timer. Dying doesn't change anything. The only way for me to circumvent this timer is to switch characters, and stream snipers usually just have one character because their alt characters aren't going to be PvP empowered or have gear, specialization, money, and so on, or even really access to Brazilian, right? So again, if you want to try to avoid stream snipers, the mists are basically, they're built for it, okay? The mists are literally built for it. Now, a few other activities you can do to just avoid a stream sniper. One is Hellgates. If the stream sniper does not have friends and enters the Hellgate around the exact same time you do, which is really hard to line up in time, they're not going to get in the same Hellgate as you. Corrupted dungeons are MMR based, and most stream snipers will have some built-up infamy. Like, I have 130,000, so if you're a new player, I will never, ever get to fight you in a corrupted dungeon. Arena is another thing, too. Now, for me personally, I have tried to stream snipe Lupac and all the other arena streamers for years, and I have never, not once, gotten into the same game as them. For one, I'm solo queuing and they're group queuing, so it's very hard to get in. My MMR in Arena is too high. I have a 56% win rate. They have like a 30 to 40% win rate, I'm pretty sure. I don't entirely know, but their win rate is not nearly as high as mine. And, let me check that. Well, I guess Bogle's kind of close. He's got the 54 in Crystal Arena. I've got the 56. But, yeah, it's, what is my regular Arena stats? I haven't played regular Arena. Yeah, I'm at 51. 51 and 56. So, again, it's MMR-based, it's gear-based, it's also rank-based. And so, most of the time, like, I have never, ever been able to stream snipe anyone doing Arena. So, if I can't do it, most likely your haters, your followers, your obsessors, your stalkers, they won't be able to do it either. And even if they get in the same arena as you, there's like, you don't really lose anything other than maybe time if they're on the same team as you and they just sandbag it. And if they're on the enemy team, well then, you know, it's a fair fight. There's also the new orange zones, which I have not gotten to test with a full population of players. I believe it might be 14 to 16 players or 4 to 8 groups of 2. I don't know the full stats. And I won't know until June 30th, unfortunately, but that could be another activity that you do. And in an orange zone, you drop your inventory, but not your equipment. So it's semi-safe. It's just, I don't have friends to play it with, and it's a 2v2 and a 3v3 game mode. Solos can enter it, so your stream snipers might be able to get in the same map as you. I don't know. I don't know the odds, because I haven't run the numbers and did the spreadsheets and did the testing. Now, in my opinion, the hardest possible thing to stream snipe in the whole game is someone doing a solo or a group dungeon where they go into town or a map, they mute their game, and they, like I said, they hide their screen, and then they pop the map, they enter the dungeon, and once they are inside the dungeon, they unveil their screen. I have no context clues whatsoever. It is impossible to track that, because the dungeon closes behind them. Then it is, there's no way to find out where you were or where you are. And then after you are done with the dungeon and you're teleporting out, all you do is blacken your screen once again, ride back to town, and there you go. And you may be thinking, but Swole Benji, what if someone follows me outside of town to when I go to my map? And here's the thing, like, there are so many people in town and names get very blurry. Now, as a stream sniper, you need to be in a group to be able to put an icon over someone's head. That'll make them easier to follow, all right? And but as a solo, let's say I'm trying to follow this guy. Well, he's on a mount. I mean, I'm not mounted, but let's say I was mounted and I'm trying to follow that guy. Or let's say I'm trying to follow this guy, this Corleone 1996 guy, right? So he just went to the bank. Let's see how easy it is to lose him in a crowd, okay? So, I've already lost him. Where the hell is... Oh, there he is. Okay, so he's right here. He's probably going to walk over to the bank now. I guess he's just going to go AFK. But all you have to do as a streamer is go into the big blob of people. Your name vanishes in this big blob. I will not be able to see you without being able to put a marker over your head, which I literally cannot do if I'm not in a party, okay? And then from here, all you do, you blacken your screen, you pop your map, you ride out, and because there is... a stream delay, it's very, like, yeah, if I'm very diligent, I can maybe look at this exit, but if you take the other exit or whatever, it's so hard to track, alright? And unless your computer loads slowly, by the time that I follow you out, you're already going to be moving towards a direction or something. Like, there's a big blob of people here, right? Like, if I'm just in this blob, very hard to tell who I am. So, again, that is the hardest thing to stream snipe in this entire game, is people that completely blacken their screen and then go do a dungeon, alright? So, hopefully this guide has helped you, and hopefully this guide has not helped any wannabe or would-be stream snipers. But, you know, stream snipers, because I know you guys are going to be watching this and taking notes of what to do and what not to do and how to stream snipe. I hope you guys know that when in Albion Online, when you kill someone, there is a chance they drop a kill trophy. Now, this is just some literal who. I don't know who Void D13 is, okay? But a kill trophy looks like this, right? And if you manage to get one from a very popular person, they're worth a lot of money. They're worth quite a bit of money, alright? That means all of the SBI employees like Nazori Bogle, Lupac, all of the big streamers like Quinn and Soda Poppin', if he even plays, even me, killing me and getting a kill trophy, people will pay like 10 million plus silver for that, okay? And they will adorn their guild island and they will laugh at about it. and it's something that they can tell. They'd be like, hey, crowd around, new recruit. Look at this kill trophy. It's Swobenji. We got him, boys. Don't you just hate that streamer YouTuber guy? And they'll all cheer, and they'll all have a good time. So at the end of the day, you know, do what you got to do to get paid, lads and streamers. Hopefully this helped you survive a few extra days in this game. This game is not a streamer game. It's absolute hell. The entire category is just AFK view bots. Look, if you're a Twitch streamer, go look at the data for this game before drops were ever enabled. It was a freaking dead streamer game, okay? And YouTubers, go look at the data around 2020 versus now. This game does not get nearly as many views as it used to. I'm sorry, that's just the truth. Anyway, hopefully this guide helped you, and if you are a fan of a big streamer, like that K-Necro guy, or Quinn, or I don't remember the other, Zerator? I don't know, again, I don't know if Soda's playing, alright? But if you're a fan of any streamer, okay, show them this video. I know it's a long one, but it's very detailed. Okay, that's how I do my videos. That's how I get my watch time. But another thing that I also just want to borrow your ear for a second. Look at my name. I'm guildless. I don't have a guild. If you want to win that Lurkit challenge, I'm your guy. I am the number one YouTuber when it comes to new player guides. I'm the number one YouTuber for Albion, period. My numbers trump everyone else's, okay? If you invite me into your streamer little guild for the 4 weeks, I guarantee you with my help, all of the people that you invite to your guild will be farming like crazy, getting you those challenge points and those guild points, and you will not only win the competition getting that big fat stack of Twitch subs, but also those Man-at-Arms Galatine pair in real-life swords. And what do I want from it? I don't want your money. I don't want Twitch subs. I can't participate. I'm a YouTuber. I'm also banned off Lurkit because Lurkit is left-leaning and I'm right-leaning, okay? But another thing, too, is that, again, I don't need the prize. I just want to be the guy that helped you win. I just want that clout. I don't need your fan base. I don't need you to shout out my channel. I just want to rub it in the noses of all the little Albion Redditors and all the other Albion leftoids out there that I, Swobenji, helped you, the streamer, win this contest so that they will forever be upset and mad about it and still speak of it years later. That's all I care about is the memory, okay? You can keep all the money and the Twitch subs and the Galatine pairs or whatever other prizes there are. I just want to help you win to screw over everyone else and make them mad. That's it. That's all I want. That's the video. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys in the next video. Click the video on the right side of your screen, and if you do, it won't rain when you want to go out and have a fun day in real life.